Minute. I am not unmuted. I am now unmuted and now I'm talking to you. What is up, America? How are y'all doing today? Welcome to today's edition of Le Cheap Pop Podcast. We come to you from France. No, not really. We come to you from First GenXers Studios. As always, I am the one and only Dark Lord 100, aka Double KK Double. To the left of me, to the right of me, depending on how you're looking at the screen. If you was looking at it from backwards, that'd be kind of weird, like if you're watching a reflection in the mirror. Anyway, instead of getting sidetracked, I'm going to introduce my guy Dave over here, back from vacay. What's up, Runescryer?
Hey, hey, how are we doing?
Doing well, doing well. And the man
Other
below me.
than other than the inability to focus.
Oh, yeah, it's been kind of hard to do that. My right here on my nose, on my head, has felt like somebody like took their thumb and was just pressing as hard as they can all and week. And yeah, it was not pleasant. But I feel you. I feel you. Power to the brothers. All right, and below me is the man with the master plan, the co-founder of this beautiful network that we call First Gen Xers. That's the man, the Saint, Agent K28. What is up, brother?
Uh, just it feels like, man, it feels like we were off. No, damn, we were off 2 weeks. Ain't
Yep.
this a bitch?
We tried to go last week, but my computer
Yeah,
decided to
yeah,
say,
I
"Nah, man,
know.
I ain't letting that fucking
Yeah,
shit happen."
it's the key word. It's the fuckery
Yeah,
of it
yeah.
all.
Hmm.
But maybe we needed the break because it was we had some real fucked up shit going on last week, man. Like
Yeah.
Dave, you're on vacation. You probably had the most fun, but you know,
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
It
no.
was my
well, no,
it,
no, but you had the most fun. And then Kev is over here, sick as a dog, and then I'm just MIA.
yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Well, I mean, I was at my annual convention that I go to up here, 4-day tabletop gaming convention in a resort that has its own brewery, distillery, and winery. So
Hmm.
that was
Wow.
great. The problem is that because it's an older building, it's very retro styling. So all the seating are wood benches with very little padding.
Oh,
So my back was just freaking screaming at me the last couple of days
Oh
of the
Jesus Christ!
convention, and yeah, the group. Um, it's an eclectic group of people, um, and not to get too much into it, but probably about half of the attendees had a lot of anxiety about the election
yeah,
because their lives were literally depending upon a certain result.
yeah.
So
Well,
there was I had to play, you know, grief counselor to a lot of people there too. So it was a good mutual support session. Everyone came out, good time. So yeah,
nice, nice. Well, completely. Yeah. I'll say it like this. This will help us segue into our first segment of the day.
please.
I'm about as disappointed with the rest of the world about that as I was about that Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight last night. Now, look,
We're not even going to discuss that.
y-
We're not going
yes,
to
yes, we are,
listen. No,
because
no, no. Okay,
Mike,
yeah. I'd
look,
rather talk. Yeah, I'd rather talk about the fight
Yeah, yeah,
than the election. To be honest.
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah. No, no, no. I'm
totally,
talking about,
totally
I'm talking
agree.
about, I'm talking about the fight. We're gonna get into that because and here's my disappointment. Here's a lot of people don't know what my disappointment is. My disappointment is that Mike wasn't as aggressive as I thought he was going to be, other than the first two rounds. And I understand the man's 58. He ain't exactly got, you know what I'm saying, the energy to go 10, 12 rounds like he used to.
Hmm.
And if you look at it,
True.
and really, if you look at the last few seconds of each of the last like three rounds, he tried to get a flurry in there. And I'm not saying, like, by no means, and this is what I don't want to hear anywhere. Jake, this does not prove that Jake Paul is an actual boxer.
Hmm.
It doesn't. He has a unanimous victory win over Mike Tyson, over a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. Like they said, this was a win-lose situation for Jake Paul no matter what. If you go out there and knock out Mike Tyson, you knocked out a 58-year-old man. If you go out there and
Yeah.
beat Mike Tyson, you beat a 58-year-old man. If you go out there and lose to Mike Tyson, that you just lost to a 58-year-old man. You go out there and get knocked out by Mike Tyson, you just got knocked out by a 58-year-old man. There was never a scenario where Jake Paul came out looking good.
Yeah. I mean, the memes that are going around just in the past couple days uh, have Jake Paul challenging Jimmy Carter to a fight now.
I saw one that was referenced to Dragon Ball Z, and it was him,
Yeah, Master
Master
Roshi.
Roshi. Yeah,
I mean, it's. I was hoping Mike would do better.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, I understand. Dude is 60.
yeah.
Um,
And Roy
and
Jones
just a
Jr.
few
did
months.
not like the fact that he was biting his his whatchamacallit. Roy Jones brought that shit up like 15 different times.
Yeah,
But anyway, go
yeah.
ahead.
But, you know, Mike, had a major medical incident like half a year ago where he lost 25 pounds, almost all of his blood. And so he had to put on a massive amount of weight and get back into training hard. So, like you said, it kind of is what it was going to be.
Yep.
And I'm disappointed that Iron Mike didn't knock Jake Paul out. But, you know,
I
hey,
don't care what
as
nobody says.
people,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
like other people have been saying, it's like, it does prove that Mike is the GOAT.
Yeah.
And not Muhammad Ali, because Muhammad Ali, sadly at 58, was dealing with Parkinson's.
Yeah. Yeah. Beyond his
So
control. Beyond his control,
yeah,
for sure.
beyond his control, yeah, for sure. But
Uh,
it's just
well, let me say this. Let me say this real quick. Look, for the first two rounds, and this is why the first two rounds, if you look at the final scorecard, went to Tyson. For the first two rounds, Mike came out looking to throw some punches. Jake Paul, like most Mike Tyson opponents, was just too quick and stayed away from him.
yeah,
Okay? If Mike is 30 years younger, he's moving too quick for Jake Paul to move away from.
yeah.
And Jake Paul, I don't remember if this happened. Do you remember that dude Tommy? What was his name? You remember him, Saint? That he used to box back in the day, blonde haired kid. He was also in
Tommy
like one of the Rocky
Morrison.
movies.
Tommy
Tommy
Morrison.
Morrison.
Tommy Morrison.
Didn't he
Gen-
fight Tyson at one point? He lost, but didn't he fight Tyson at one point?
I don't know if he did.
Because Jake Paul's fighting style reminds me of him. Like he stayed away. Jake Paul was the one thing I will give Jake Paul credit for is he understood that even at 58, it was a good idea to stay out of Mike Tyson's like immediate
Yeah,
swing radius. Like it was just better. Like you might he might hit you with a good 1-2 from a distance, but he's not gonna hit you with that. Oh, sorry. He's not gonna hit you with that close right hook if you ain't right up on him. So he stayed out there and he tired Tyson out. Basically, he did to Tyson what Floyd Mayweather did to his brother.
he did what Ali
Yeah.
did to Foreman.
Yeah, what Ali did to Foreman. He just stayed out of his way.
Yeah,
But he stayed out of his way because he understood that even at 58, if Mike Tyson connects, Jake Paul was gonna fall, and it wasn't nothing about it to be said. So I give great credit to Jake Paul and
I
his
can
corner
agree with that.
for the strategy of just staying away from
I
Mike
can agree
Tyson.
with that.
You know what I'm saying? Because
and
because you tell me all them people that say fight Mike Tyson for one round, and I give you $1 million, and I go, hey, let me ask you this: what's your definition of fight? Because my ass is gonna be ducking, dodging, dipping. What's they say from dodgeball? I'm gonna be doing all that. Cause I ain't no way in the ring. I'm trying to stand and take one hit from Mike. One hit from Mike can put you in a wheelchair. I'm good.
yeah,
So
and
I'd have done exactly what Jake Paul did. Now that was just stay the fuck away from him for the entire round.
yeah, and even more, this was an absolute no-win situation all around.
Yeah.
Because in addition to, Jake Paul getting taunted for now, challenging older combatants in memes, now everyone's all like, "See, we told you it was fixed.
Yeah.
We told you that this
Yeah.
was going to be a scripted
This did
fight.
nothing for the sport. Like this
It
did
did
nothing. Now,
absolutely nothing."
now the fight that came in underneath it. Matter of fact, the two fights
Yeah,
that came in underneath it, the Barrios Rubio fight, and then the two females, Serrano and Carter, I think it was.
yeah.
Those two fights. No, those were some boxing. No, those were some boxing
Now,
matches.
yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that. I didn't watch the fight at all. I had
yeah.
no interest in it. But and also, apparently, Netflix was having lag
Buffer.
issues like you were last week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the bullshit was all evening. No, we had that one first fight, and then when the ladies came in, it just and then
Oh,
that was it.
Oh,
I was pissed because that was actually the fight I was more interested in.
hmm,
You feel me?
yeah.
Not so much as Tyson and Paul, but I mean, come on, man. Let's.
yeah.
No.
It's
Go ahead.
and it's just more like Netflix trying
It was
to,
fuckery, man.
yeah,
Fuckery.
it they're trying to expand their audience beyond.
Just people watching movies and chilling and
Yeah,
watching TV
exactly.
shows to
And
people who
and the
actually want
problem
to
is
watch
that
events. Yeah.
their core business model is now suffering
Yeah.
from it. Nobody wants to watch a new Netflix show because they know that it's going to be a big one season setup that's never going to get renewed.
Yeah.
Uh, Nobody I mean, and Netflix is dumping their coolest feature, which is being able to see stuff from other countries.
Mm.
You know, entertainment from other countries. You get to see stuff like, they had the Man of the People TV show from the Ukraine, which
Mm.
is where
Oh, that reminds me. I gotta watch
Zelensky,
Ragnarok.
yeah, where Zelensky became known as a comedian in Ukraine and eventually became president. You know, it's the pure anime that they had
Yeah.
before they started doing all the adaptations. Um, they're losing a lot of the core features that they innovated when they switched from the DVD by mail to a streaming model, and they're just not able to keep up with that streaming model now, especially with the live events. And this showed it.
Well, I think they will because they have a couple more live events like the Christmas Day games are going to be shown on Netflix. The football games that get played on
Mhm.
Christmas Day are going to be shown on Netflix
Yeah,
this
now
year.
now that's gonna be some comedy.
Yeah, that's
I
going to be
really
hey, it's going
want
to
to
be
see
another
some
big
comedy.
test for them because
Yeah,
remember, starting in
Starting in January, we're
starting in
starting with
January, they're
Raw.
going to be doing 3 hours live of Raw every Monday. Now
yep,
here's where it gets interesting. Is it still going to be one of those situations where if you're on the West Coast, you can't watch Raw till 8, and if you're on the East Coast, you can watch it at 5 because then you're only doing it live for the East Coast.
yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Because I had to have satellite in order to be able to watch the East Coast feed of USA to be able to watch Raw when it came on live. I always watched the replay at 8 on the West Coast until that went away. That feature went away on Hulu where you could watch the East Coast or West Coast feeds of USA. But yeah, big time, man. Like I'm wondering how they're gonna do it because if to me it would be pretty cool if all of a sudden now I can just flick on Netflix at 5 p.m. and Raw is there and I can watch it live. That would be pretty cool. But like I said, I also told people I didn't have a lot of buffering issues. Like during watching the fight, I had a couple of times where things went blurry, and then a couple minutes later they came back fully. But like I didn't have many internet issues or many issues with it.
Bro, listen, let me honestly tell you, hold on, before I begin this answer, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to C Jonte. in the building. She is the she's the mod for usually for MVT Deuce, but she has gladly joined us today, and we're tapping in with the one and only Miss Toy, lovely, lovely radio show back in the building because we've been
Hey,
out for a while,
yep.
but
Yep. Thank you.
I didn't. I had problems. I didn't even. I will tell you this. I did not watch the fight while it was live. I watched it immediately after the feed went down, just so I can watch the fight, and it was fucking disappointing. That to me was bullshit. That was like it was kind of like a Floyd Mayweather fight, but in reverse. It was like, motherfuckers was dancing. They was trying to do the two steps and shit. You
Uh,
know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
while Jake Paul is standing around trying to do the leprechaun shuffle, like, man, what the fuck is that, bro?
Look,
Miss me with that.
look.
Miss me with that. That was, and listen, you guys know I am a big boxing fan.
Yeah.
I play the boxing games. You know what I'm saying? I love the sweet science of boxing. But Friday night, that was pure, unadulterated bullshit.
Yeah.
Let me
Can we
let me
say
say it.
amen?
Let me say it to you like this. The only positive thing for me that came out of the actual fight, well, out of the whole pay per view, there were three positive things. One, two, three. Three positive things that came out of it for me. One, that Rubio Barrios fight, them boys, them boys did a number on each other. And
That
and
was
when the more
horrible.
you hear about Rubio's story, the more that fight, the impact of the story of that fight makes sense. Because like he really, and the announcers mentioned it a few times, he really had no business being in that championship bout against the champ. And so like to me that made that one an even better fight than what it actually was in ring, which was a really good fight. Two, the female fight, that's the Serrano, I believe Carter fight, they just wow. Those girls, both of them should be close to retirement, but they was throwing some blows on each other and they was
But
making it look good.
I'm sorry,
And then
but
hold on,
Serrano
and then
should
hold
have.
on, and then the last one, and then the last thing is at least Mike Tyson walked out of there with $20 million. So I'm good. Like what we saw in the ring was trash, but Mike walked out with 20 mil. Hey, just saying.
Hey, look, we already knew. First of all, we already knew Mike Tyson was going to walk out with a big ass paycheck anyway. I mean, that's just the normal. But with the Serrano fight, I'm gonna say it was kind of close to call, but I just think that yeah, Serrano should have. I mean, that was some executing. That was definitely, like that was better than the whole entire event of the evening, as far as I'm concerned. To me, that was the best fight. That was
I
definitely the
can see
best
where it
fight.
has definitely a grand argument for it. Like
Yeah,
for me,
but
it was the
that Paul
Rubio
fight
Barrios fight. But
was
I can, like I said, if somebody wants to say it's the female fight, I'd be there. I would allow people pretty much to say it was any fight on the card outside of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Yeah. It,
Like pretty much, like, and I didn't even see the other fights, and I can tell you that yeah, they were probably better than the main event.
yeah.
So
And that's it's just gonna be it just
I've seen two
it
seniors in a
makes
YMCA go at it bit, with more energy than those two did, than those two put in. Anyway,
it just makes the
yeah,
overall sport of boxing even less legitimate.
yes,
I
Mhm.
mean, it took a big hit with the whole payday era with Don King promotion
yeah.
and all that. I mean, yeah, it was glitzy, it was glamorous and all that, but this is just it,
I'll say
it,
it
it,
like
it
this.
it's bringing it down more.
Yeah, I don't think, and this is no offense to Jake Paul. I'm not saying, and I'm going to state this right now because everybody always says, "Well, he could beat your ass." Look, I'm not saying that Jake Paul couldn't beat the average fucking dude out on the street. The dude's like 6'6", like 6'4", or something like that. He's like 280 pounds of fucking muscle. Yes, he could
Yeah,
probably beat the shit out of the average dude.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But if you put him in the ring with an
Well,
Andre Ward, if you put him in the ring with a Tyson Fury, with a Deontay Wilder, I don't
with
think.
the
Damn, Saint,
with
was what I
one,
saying that bad?
put him in the ring with one of the Klitschko brothers
Yeah,
after the Ukraine kerfuffles died down. Then we'll see what's what.
yeah. Like I don't, I just, I can't see you as a legitimate boxer even after this one. Like I just can't. And if that's the point,
Be-
is to try to make your resume credible, where you can say you're a legitimate boxer, you deserve a heavyweight championship match, like or
right,
heavyweight championship fight. This is not the route to go. There are legitimate heavyweights you can go fight, dudes
because
that will actually box your ass. And then we will see. You beat a couple
yeah,
of them. You ain't even got to beat them by knockout. You beat them through skill.
yeah,
And I will call you a legit boxer. But your resume ain't
yeah.
it, bro. 11-1 or not, your
Because
resume ain't
he's
it.
yeah, because Jake Paul is a MMA fighter,
Yeah.
which is not nearly as heavy on the strikes as it is on the grappling and the submission.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
All right,
His
real quick.
brother,
Oh,
yeah, go for it.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Super
sorry.
humble.
I thought you were stop. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to the one and only Be More Humble in the building.
Hey,
Also,
hey,
yeah. She keeps the lights on, y'all. All right, back to the bullshit.
All
yeah,
right.
but
Well,
and
you're gonna be
Logan
last word
is
on Jake Paul and
WWE.
whatchamacallit. We're gonna jump
Yeah,
into pop culture
and
corner.
Logan is WWE.
Yeah.
So they're not real boxers slash fight. And this isn't to discredit, pro wrestling at all.
No, no, no.
Okay,
No, no.
because
That's not the way to
we
say it.
we all know how much athleticism it takes
Oh yeah.
to be a pro wrestler.
I've always said,
But
are they athletes?
this
Yes.
is the
Is it a
world.
sport?
Yeah,
No. Like
right, exactly.
it being
But you know
predetermined
what though?
can immediately disqualifies it from being a sport. If it was not predetermined, then we could call it a sport. But it's predetermined, so it's not a sport.
Yeah, and the one thing though, but I do have to say, I will give just a little bit, not so much as a little bit of respect, but I do recognize, um, Logan Paul,
Yeah.
you know, in the
Mhm.
WWE because I mean, if he earned, he's tried to earn his stripes or what have
Oh,
you.
he
That's the
has.
same thing like with big, like with Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I looked at, some of the video of their training and stuff like that. So, I mean, I will,
They took
give
their
them,
training seriously. They
Yeah,
respected the
yeah,
sport, and they were rewarded
yeah, they
for that. And
respect it.
yeah, one hundred
In
percent.
terms of the other Paul with the boxing, yeah, no, I'm still not feeling that.
And like
I'm
I
I'm
said,
I'm
you want a
definitely still
championship
not
match.
feeling.
Go, you
Yeah,
you want a championship match. Start fighting people who
you
are actual boxers, and
exactly.
you
Yeah,
beat them the way you beat Tyson, or vice versa, instead of these celebrity ones where you get paid all this money. Just fucking go
yeah,
box some people that are on the ranked list and try to work your way up, just like you were playing Fight Night or some shit. Like go fight some
yeah,
actual boxers, and let's see how far you make it, and then
yeah.
that'll legitimize you as a
yeah.
boxer.
Yeah.
So all
Let's
right,
let,
go ahead.
let's see you try to pull that on Floyd Mayweather.
His brother tried and lost. Anyway, all right. So let's go with this. Pop culture corner is up. Pop culture corner. What's up? What's up? All right. So this week, just want to, I ask you fellas, real quick. Did either of you get to finish Agatha all along? No.
Nope,
Neither of
I
you
not
saw
even
yet.
get to
parts of
I
start
it
it.
at
know.
the
Yeah.
ending. I
Huh?
saw parts of it.
You saw parts of the ending. All right. Well, I
Yeah.
watched it all the way through. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but let me just say this. I thought it was very interesting how they ended it, and I don't mean by the whole situation with Wiccan and Agatha. What I mean is uh, the last episode basically being a prelude to the entire series.
Yeah.
Like that method of storytelling is something that I enjoy, but is just is odd to me at various times because I always wonder why they pick for particular series to do that, where your final episode is actually should have been like episode one, you
Mhm.
know. And so yeah, so for those of you who yeah, Agatha All Along was real good. Thanks Shanta. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They did. If y'all haven't had a chance to watch it, I suggest you do. Um, Also, other quick recommendations. I haven't started it, but Arcane 2, Arcane League of Legends Season 2 is dropped on Netflix for those who don't know. And also the second of three parts, because Cobra Kai Season 6, the final season, will be 18 episodes, not just 12. But the second six have dropped with the kids going to the Takai tournament and all the
Mhm.
drama that's happening there. I've only watched three of the six episodes. I'm gonna watch the other three later on tonight, but I suggest watching both of them. Yeah, that tarot episode was super good. Um,
Yeah.
but anyway,
So
just quick recommendations from me.
yeah, but yeah, with Agatha all along. Side note.
Yeah.
So interesting thing is that they're keeping. I can't remember the name of the actress, but they're going to keep Jennifer Kale going forward in the MCU.
Oh, the black
And
girl, the bald black girl.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and she is Johnny Blaze's cousin.
Yeah, yeah. I was reading about that.
So yeah, so that's going to be open up some interesting possibilities for Ghost Rider in the MCU
Yeah,
beyond Robbie Reyes from Agents of
yeah.
Shield.
Even though I like that
Uh,
version, even though I like the Robbie Reyes version.
yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, no, I could
so
see that.
that's going to be, and completely really brave, because I mean Jennifer Kale, you know
Yeah.
white, blonde hair, blue eyes.
And you made her a nice bald black woman.
Yep. And
I
Jessica,
also love the prospect of Johnny Blaze is now black.
yeah,
Like, but then again, no, they could be cousins with him being
yeah,
white and her
exactly.
being black. Yeah,
Yeah. And also Jennifer Kale is a major supporting character in Man Thing.
man thing.
Yeah.
Nice,
We got him already in last year's Werewolf by Night.
nice. So yeah,
That's right.
So yeah. So it's the MCU is just having fits and starts. Like I said, they're still trying to find their footing. They
yeah.
don't really know what's going on. And apparently they're still doing reshoots for Captain America New World Order.
Wow.
And they just fired the director again during the, you know,
And we also now have the news that yes, well, we already knew we were getting a Young Avengers, but now I guess
yeah,
it's kind of been confirmed that it's going to be led by Haley Stayfield,
Kate Bishop. Yeah.
Kate Bishop, yep, with Ms. Marvel, uh, Wiccan, Speed. I forget who the other ones were.
Hulkling.
Yeah,
We still
Hulkling.
have to see, we still have to see Hulkling.
Yeah. No, have we
That's
though?
not
The
Scar.
Patriot.
It's not Scar. Okay.
Patriot.
And the
Yeah.
Patriot. Yeah. And we've already
We,
seen the Patriot, right? Because that's the guy
no,
that was
it's not
supposed to be.
Scar.
Huh?
Yeah. Um,
We saw him in the Captain
that yeah,
America.
we already saw
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
That's yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, the only one that we have not seen, and the biggest question currently, is Iron Lad.
Iron Lad. Are they going to replace him with Iron Heart? Maybe we'll see Riri
Oh,
instead.
probably, yeah, because that Ironheart trailer looked really good,
Yeah, and it wasn't
and
Iron Lad Kang.
yes,
Like, yeah, yeah. I was gonna say
yeah,
or if we see Iron Lad, then we know that they're not completely done with the whole Kang
right,
aspect.
yeah, exactly. Oh, and we already have Kid Loki
I think
Yeah,
from the TV series,
nice.
so yeah, we're all
We're,
we're slowly getting the Young Avengers assembled.
I think that's gonna be epic when it happens. I definitely do.
I think so too. Yeah, and I think that's yeah.
well, we'll see.
There's so many moving parts right now with the MCU that it's so up in the air that it's like trying to, pieces are up in the air. You're trying to do the jigsaw puzzle. You know, it's like remember that game Perfection
Yeah,
with the pop up tray that
yeah.
you're trying to get all the pieces in there before. Yeah, that's what the MCU is right now. They're trying to while everything's in motion.
Yeah, I feel you. Like I don't think I think that they have a new direction. I think it's kind of like what I was explaining a couple of weeks ago to a friend of mine about COVID, and I was like, and how COVID was like watching science happen in real time. And
Yep.
that's what people didn't understand a lot about COVID. It wasn't
Yep.
that science got it wrong before. It was that science learned more shit. And so this is the updated version of what they need to tell you. Um,
Yep.
but I think that's where we're at with Marvel right now, is that Marvel's at a position where they're just kind of making shit up as they're going along, because everything that they had planned before, the whole layout for like 3 or 4 years got destroyed when they decided to let go of Jonathan Majors.
Right.
And so like, and they decided not to replace him with somebody else's Kang.
Yeah.
Like as
The
soon as they
key
decided to make the shift to Doom, now it becomes a movie by movie, show by show kind of, thing of, okay, what are we gonna do next?
the key is going to be Fantastic Four, and then um, Avengers. Is it still Kang Dynasty, or is
No,
it
Doom,
Secret War?
No,
Doom
it's probably
something.
going to be anything with the Secret
Oh, Doomsday.
Wars.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
Doomsday. It's gonna be the first
Doomsday.
Yeah.
one. Then
Yeah.
Secret Wars is the second.
That's
Yeah,
yeah. That's Secret Wars is going to be the reset point.
you
But
think
we
so?
I
know, but the thing is that we already know that the Fantastic Four is in a different universe also.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is that Secret Wars is going to be the reset point where they gather in all the final properties together.
yeah,
Now that they're
Yeah,
all owned by Disney, and we're having a whole reset with the MCU, starting over complete with not just the MCU characters, but with Fantastic Four, with X-Men,
yeah.
with everyone, and Sony and Universal will go along with Spider-Man and Hulk being a part of it, but they're headed for the reset point,
I feel you.
and
Well, they have
they
to.
kind of
Like,
need to. Yeah,
yeah.
they have to.
Yeah, like, well, don't get me wrong. They know where they're going as far as Avengers Doomsday. Like they know
Yeah,
they know the story they want to do. The problem is that they're going to have to re they're still going to have to rewrite everything that they had already written, because everything that they
yeah,
had already written was leading to Kang
yeah,
being the big
exactly.
bad. Now they just have to
Right,
rewrite it to where it's Doom, because those guys aren't guys that you can necessarily just swap.
right.
So
Yeah,
there are some major rewrites that are going to have to be done. But I'll put it to you like this: I think that the last 10 years of Marvel products gives them the leeway to have a few bad movies here or there. uh, to have a few mediocre movies. I don't think I've really seen a
yeah,
bad Marvel movies. To have a
yeah.
few
But
mediocre movies in there.
at worst they've been mediocre. Yeah,
Right, and then they can get back to some good stuff,
yeah,
to the stuff, to the meaty stuff, to the stuff that we want. Because I'll be honest with you, here's what's funny, is I like the fact that they went away from the Infinity storyline, but there's still a lot of meat on the Infinity storyline. Like
oh
like
yeah,
the
there is.
Infinity Crisis wasn't the last, like that wasn't the last loop that they went through when it came to that gauntlet. So we could expect to see them go back to that at some point, maybe in the future. But right now we're dealing with Kang, and I think that, yeah, I think that right now what we're witnessing is Marvel literally trying to morph their world from what they thought it was going to be 5 years ago, when they thought they had a head start on everything because they had built out far enough, to now all of a sudden
Yeah,
realizing that none of that shit matters, and we now need to build to something new, and we're watching it happen in real time. Not an excuse, just a reason. Um, what else? So, have either of you guys heard this one from DC, that James Gunn has announced that to Justice League fans that there's probably going to be an extremely long wait for another Justice League movie? Do y'all think this is a good thing or a bad thing?
oh yeah,
I I think it's a good thing conditionally.
Okay.
The condition being that Warner Brothers executives, the C-suite, stay completely out of James Gunn's way. They don't have any input. They don't have any say in what goes on, because that was the problem with the Snyderverse. Well, there were other problems with Snyderverse also. But um,
Not every comic book movie is a soap opera from Mexico, okay? Like, it
okay,
doesn't need to
well,
be that dramatic.
not every comic book movie needs to be Batman. Okay, you can't do Shazam as Batman.
Yeah, no shit.
You can't do Superman as Batman. And so, but that's another thing. And that's always been DC's problem in the modern era is that the executive board gets in the way, starts making demands, what has to happen, where things have to be in there, who has to show up. These particular, rising stars or buzz worthy, you know, characters have to be in there, and it just starts falling apart.
It's, yeah.
You know,
Okay.
so you know,
Well, let me just run my because
Go for it.
I'm the big DC head here.
Yep,
My
I was
thing is
just gonna say.
this:
yeah.
we all know, that DC has kind of like reset even with their animated stuff because I just watched recently the Crisis on the Infinite Earths Part 3.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's just say this. We're going to give James Gunn a shot. If Superman is successful, and I'll agree with Kevin and Dave, tell the producers, shut the fuck up, cut the check, and let him handle his business.
Yeah,
And that's it.
yeah,
If he does what he's supposed to do, because I mean, the Suicide Squad was pretty damn good.
yeah,
He,
it was.
he did that. He's messed with both franchises. However, DC gave him, they gave it to him. So those higher ups or whatever, look, we're gonna look at you. But if this shit goes, we can go back to saying, hey, fuck it up. But if James Gunn does his job,
Yep.
which I believe he's going to get accomplished, then DC is going to be on its way back up. We're going to let them handle it. I mean, we can at least give it at least gods and monsters because we don't know exactly because this is the gods and monsters story arc. So we already know that there's maybe 5 or 6 movies going on ahead because we already, we got Creature Commandos, you got Superman, you got Superwoman, The World of Tomorrow, and then I believe you have The Authority. So we're gonna get to see how this all, works
Pans
out
out. Yeah.
and so forth. But I'm not just gonna go ahead and say because look, I love the Snyder first.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Okay. It was a different take on DC, and then people need to realize that they kind of kept it in continuity because it was the 52, the um the DC 52 version of Superman
Yeah.
because he didn't have the red trunks on. They kind of gave it that edge, but
Mhm.
yeah, I was just
All right. All right.
we just have to see where it goes.
Where it goes. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to drop y'all with a topic, and then I have to take a step back for a quick second, and I'll be right back. But it seems that James Gunn also has thrilled fans with the Superman reboot trailer. Have either of you guys had a chance to see it?
Me, no,
No.
not
No.
yet.
You haven't had a chance to check out the Superman reboot trailer?
I'm gonna look that up.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
It dropped just a couple of, let me see.
Yeah, because I need
This
answers.
was October 28th, bro. So, like, a couple of weeks ago? Yeah, because we were supposed to
Yeah,
originally
well,
talk about it.
I have to check on that because according um, that James Gunn actually had just put out that it was
Go on.
still
I got it. I'll be right back.
he still hadn't dropped it
Yeah,
For sure.
because that's big news right there.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's major big news.
And there's so many um, of these AI trailers
Ah,
that
Oh
okay.
my
get
So maybe
god,
dropped.
that's what was
they're
out
the
there.
worst.
Yeah,
They are the absolute worst.
yeah,
Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
yeah. Unless it's
Cool
coming
with that shit.
directly from Warner Brothers, DC Comics,
Yeah,
or
Yeah.
Disney and Marvel Comics,
it's probably not.
unless it's
Yeah.
coming directly from those official channels, I don't believe in it.
All
Yeah,
right,
because
fellas.
I mean, it was a couple of Wonder Man bootleg trailers
Yeah.
they tried to put out and then throw in some scenes from the Matrix. Like, man, get the fuck out of here.
All right. All right. So then that will close out our pop culture corner, and we'll go straight into our commercial block. And let's see. This is the Cheap Pop Podcast right here on First GenXers Twitch TV, or you may be listening to the replay on Live 365 or on Spreaker.com, where you can catch us all. Peace.
You got to keep it, keep it. You got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it, keep it. You got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I'm being real with this. Please don't judge me, I'ma stay on my shit. I'ma keep a grind mode button, push it, make it do something. No balls for me, cause I'm a loose cannon. I get to choose, camera, switch it up, look up a new banner. Keep smoking on that banner.
We back at it. Yep, we still doing it.
Poetic beat.
First GenXers. Gia. Let's get it, y'all. Come on. We back in the building. It's been a long time cooking in the soup kitchen. And I'm chilling with the same. Dropping these beats won't stop, nope, I can't. Let me get up in the lab, turn it up. Game on with the first GenXers. What's up? Let's flip on the Switch or the Xbox and
Get up in my zone, I'm clowning.
let me clear my throat for a minute. Shout out to my folks while I'm in it. It ain't nothing but love, it's babe business.
I really don't know what's so who ain't feeling this.
And this is only the beginning. Now versus then, this is something for the chillin'. Poetic got the joints like McDonald's.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it. It's the first gen. We're now rocking with Poetic Beats. This is the first Gen X's production. It's the first. Get your PlayStations out. Get your Xbox out. Get your Switch out. Let's get it in, y'all. Holla back.
They say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the definition of beauty is distorted. Yeah. Come on. Searching for yourself, so insecure about the way you look, so you go to Miami. You can't find the love within yourself.
Well, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, we are back. We are back in the mix. We are back in the mix. So, as part of the last part of the pop culture corner, I just want to go ahead and speak on something that we haven't had a chance to talk about. So, there is one of the first platforms that I first got onto was a platform called Blog Talk Radio. As a matter of fact, we all started over here at Blog Talk Radio. That included Now versus Then, NVT Deuce, um, West Coast Bias, um, technically what is now called the which is now called the classroom, double K's classroom, the whole 9 yards. Here's the deal, folks. The the services are now about to cease. And it's crazy because we were over there for about 5 years. If you can, or if you have the opportunity, we have the old ass episodes that we done that we're running live on that we're doing stuff on live 365. So it's a big deal. And I just wanted to say that Blog Talk Radio, we would have stayed with y'all if you had kept up the high definition sound because it was a good thing. But they yanked it away from us, and well, that's all bad and all that stuff. And I also want to go ahead and give a shout out to the one and only Miss Toy Lovely Radio because we were over there as she was over at BTR as well, and well, we managed to get all the episodes that we could, so they're archived, and we have episodes that are at your pleasure. You know, if you get a chance to listen to some of the old school stuff, it's really good because that is some of the that's some of the best shows that we ever did. Not to say anything against Spreaker, because that was the last spot that we were at, but in the beginning, that's where we got it. So I just want to go ahead and say that January 31st, 2025, Blog Talk Radio is history. And I guess that's just how it is, man. And it kind of sucks, but we definitely have to make sure that it's for our beginnings. You know what I mean? And I definitely believe in that. And that's where we got our start. But nevertheless, that's not where we're at right now. We now on Twitch and we're still doing our other things, but it's a lot of history with those shows, you know, especially with the Raw Impact Unleashed and the interview with Chris Masters. That yeah, yeah. So yeah, shout out to Cole. He's still doing his thing, and I'm pretty sure he's on Twitch too. I think somewhere. Well, but nevertheless, but yeah, man, I just had to put that out there because we learned a lot about podcasting and about radio. We started in 2009, so yeah, yeah, yeah. It was good shit too, though. Yeah, but that was good shit. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. I could dig it though, man.
okay. Um, just waiting for Kahari to finish up.
No, no, no. I'm fine, bro.
Okay. So one last little pop culture notice. Happy 80th birthday today, November 17th, to the man, the legend, Danny DeVito.
Wow.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
And they're going to do It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Abbott Elementary
Yeah.
crossover coming up in
Yeah.
a few
I'm
months.
waiting for that because I love Abbott Elementary, bro.
Tony
Yeah,
Todd.
Tony
No,
Todd.
yeah, yeah. No, it was basically right at the start of November, about just right around the end of Halloween. Yeah, that's yeah. Not just not
Be
just
my victim.
not just scary, but oh my God, watch that Deep Space Nine episode where he's playing elderly Jake Sisko and just the emotion that and um around 2010 when I was doing Chicago Comic Con by myself. I was manning the table by myself. Um, he actually stopped by our table, the NPC table, for a couple minutes because I was there, and he just was talking with me on his way to a panel. This was like near the end of the day and he was on his way. His handlers were taking him down the aisle, and he stopped. He talked to me for a little bit, and it's like, wow, that was just absolutely fantastic. Exactly. Yeah. And he was a genuinely amazing guy. Fantastic. Sorry, just getting back. I just saw on my Facebook feed in the Transformers, in a Transformers group, Jake Paul wants to fight Alpha Trion, age 10 million plus.
Damn.
Okay.
I've been on mute this entire damn time. Smackdown Alley. So, like, literally nothing I said in that entire conversation was heard. Oh, well, welcome, guys. Yes, I did. Oh, well, everybody missed what I was talking about. Tony Todd. They're probably like, what the hell is he saying? Why is his mouth moving? Anyway. Oh,
You
man.
fucked up, son.
If you ever want to laugh your ass off, watch Jeff Dunham talk about him messing with the sign language girl at a concert. It's one of the funniest bits you'll ever see. Uh, him and God Peanut is the name of the blue ventriloquist doll that he
Puppet.
has. Anyway, Jeff Dunham, gotta love him, dude. Him, Mitch Hedberg died way too early. I think we lost out on decades of comedy from Mitch Hedberg. That man was just
Yep.
funny. But anyway, all right, so on SmackDown Alley this week, we're going to get a little bit into primarily what's going on SmackDown. Because right now, SmackDown has two of the hottest storylines going on in all of wrestling, as far as I'm concerned. And one is the Women's United States title. Everybody was hoping on Monday Night Raw that Raw was going to introduce the Women's Intercontinental title, but they didn't. But SmackDown did introduce the United States title. I think the United States title is getting a test run to see if people actually respond to women competing for it. And if they do, then they will release a women's intercontinental title, or they're going to let the tournament play out, have a new U.S. title, women's U.S. title holder crowned, and then they're going to drop the the IC title, so that way each one can have its own shining moment. But either way, we now have a United States title on SmackDown. And then the second biggest story, or the biggest story in all of wrestling right now, is the continuing saga of the Bloodline.
Yes.
Rolling on,
Boy,
boys.
let me tell you, and I gotta give props to Bronson Reed
Yeah.
because this motherfucker showed up. I kind of figured in the sense that they were already talking about um bringing in Seth Rollins, so that just kind of like they mentioning him, so that kind of like
Well,
you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
But I'm gonna look forward to this because I think that Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns,
yeah.
it'll be
Well,
it'll be a
hey,
good
wait. Seth,
reunion.
Seth has not said yes yet. Like,
Not yet, but I think he's gonna. I think
Well,
he's gonna save it.
we'll see. At this point, he did tell Solo he doesn't want to deal with a fake Roman Reigns. So, that being said,
Fake
here's the
Roman.
thing about it. I go back 2 weeks, and the reason why I go back 2 weeks is because there was a specific segment that I wanted to talk about last week that we didn't get to talk about because the technical issues we were having. But there's a scene where they come out early in SmackDown. Sami Zayn and Jey Uso try to convince Roman that Sami kicking Roman in the face was an accident, and that Sami should join the OG bloodline. And Roman's like, "Why are you wasting my time?" And walks away. Right? They come back later. Again, OG bloodline numbers game, getting beat up by Solo and the boys. Solo has Roman by the head. Solo's now announced that Sammy is the fifth member of their War Games team. Sammy gets in the ring. Solo holds out. Sammy hits Solo with the haluva kick, right? Now, this is where everything becomes movie magic, beautiful writing, perfectly scripted. Understand this is what a person means when they say storytelling in the ring. I'm going to break it down for you scene by scene. So Roman hits Solo with a spear. OG Bloodline clears the ring. They're standing in the ring. Solo's outside the ring. Roman's now looking at Sammy because Sammy just saved Roman's ass for the second time now. Right? Roman's looking at Sammy. Sammy's looking at Roman. Jay and Jimmy looking at Sammy and Roman. Jay turns to the hard cam side. Anybody that's a wrestling fan knows what the hard cam side is. And sticks his one in the air. Stands there proudly. Jimmy sees what Jay does. Turns to the hard cam side. One finger up. Now, Roman and Sammy look at each other. They look at Jimmy and Jay. A little bit of confusion. Sammy understands what's happening. Looks directly at Roman. Takes 2 steps directly into Roman's grill. And puts his one in the air. Roman stands there as the crowd goes fucking berserk. And cheers for everything. Roman stands there and looks around like, should I? Should I? Everybody in the crowd is like, yeah, yeah. They're all doing yes chants. All the crowd's going wild. Then Roman puts his finger up in the air. Roof blows off the place. Then, at that moment, after looking at each other dead in the eye, Roman and Sammy turn to the hard cam side, step forward. Now you have all 4 members of the OG bloodline back together again. That is storytelling in ring without wrestling at its best. It's movie level storytelling. I don't care what you say. I don't care what anybody's opinion is. Go talk to your mama. That's movie level storytelling. And it shows why the bloodline storyline right now is the best storyline going on in wrestling.
Okay, but can we discuss the phone call?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we discuss the phone call?
At the end of SmackDown this
Yeah.
week, after being turned down by Seth Rollins on Monday, the bloodline comes looking this week. Discovers, this is when what Saint was talking about happens, where Bronson Reed comes out and helps the new bloodline destroy the OG bloodline on SmackDown. Roman sitting back in the locker room, beaten, bruised, breathing heavy. Jimmy and Jay been telling him all night, make the damn call, dude, make the damn call. Roman sitting there with his cell phone, takes it out. Roman opens it up. Call the wise man. Crowd goes berserk. All of a sudden you hear out of Roman's phone, boo-doo-doo. This number is no longer in service. Boo-doo-doo. Roman just kind of drops his phone and just looks defeated. Again, storytelling at its best. The wise now we've had a lot of people that have discussed this online. Some that have said that the wise man is going to return at Survivor Series last minute and he's going to bring Brock Lesnar. I don't believe so. I believe that the wise man is going to return soon. I don't believe he's bringing Brock Lesnar. Others say he may be bringing CM Punk. I don't think he's bringing CM Punk. I think Seth Rollins is going to end up being the man. But we are going to get the wise man back at Roman's side.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Your thoughts, Saint?
You got to think about it. The new bloodline kicked the shit out of, the wise men.
Yeah,
So you might think that the wise man might have some resentment. You might have
yeah,
some resentment for Roman.
yeah,
Possibility.
yeah.
Because he could have kind of, protected him.
Well, there's that thought process that Roman could have and should have came back and attempted to save Paul, but I don't know. I think to an extent Paul is the reason why he came back. Like why he came back and decided, what I'm saying, to start fighting back against Solo. But I agree that yeah, he could have if he could have he should have came back when they put him through the thing at Madison Square Garden and yeah. Oh yeah, that by the way, that's my new ringtone whenever somebody calls me. And I literally do stand up and put my one in the air as soon as it starts ringing.
I heard the hell out of that.
But here, take a guess at what my notification is, and yes, it's wrestling related.
Let me see. Damn, I don't know. Like,
Only the
it's
greatest
on some
Raw
bloodline
theme
shit though,
song
but
to ever exist. Nickelback's "Burn It to the Ground." That's right, y'all. You heard it here first on the Cheap Pop
See, you
Podcast.
lost me.
Kevin
See,
tells you
you
right
you
now.
lost me. You lost me at Nickelback. You lost me at Nickelback. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you burn it to the
You
ground
lost me at
tonight.
Nickelback, bro.
Oh man. Oh, I've been waiting all week to
That's
throw that
that's
one out there.
that's cap right there.
All right, man. All right.
You lost me at Nickelback.
You lost your Nickelback, huh? well,
That's a fuck.
well, we know now. Like I said, we know we got a 5-on-5. Another interesting subject, just out of wrestling right now with the WWE, is that we do know now that pretty much Triple H has changed the recording schedule for Raw and SmackDown during this time of year to where they're pre-recording 2 episodes of Raw and SmackDown at specific times during the thing to give the talent time off during Thanksgiving and Christmas time, which I think is pretty cool. You work a longer night, you know what I'm saying? You work another 3-4 hours to record another 3-4 hours worth of TV. You get an extra week off. And you don't have to come in next week. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Triple H's
That's
new
fucking awesome.
WWE. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
um, so let me ask you about one other thing, Saint. I think we talked about this a few weeks ago, but here we go. Vince, or not Vince McMahon, Triple H's WWE has also now introduced a program called WWE ID. And the way this program eventually is going to work is right now they already have a WWE ID program through like colleges and the NCAA and all that. Like they literally
Mhm.
can like pick talent right out of college, like basketball. They already have like they've signed like 4 or 5 like potential like they've signed a future potential Bella twins. Like they've signed quite a few of them. But now they're reaching out and using it through the independent circuit. They're going to have specific independents throughout the country. Cody's Nightmare Factory, Booker T's Wrestling Asylum. Like they're going to have different places, independent places where if you go and you get noticed after as a training at that school and doing events there and so on and so forth, that you can be signed to a WWID project or contract where WWE will help you with basically the entire financial aspect of trying to get to the WWE. Like you basically now have if you get signed to an ID through one of these schools, an ID contract through one of these schools, you now have an inside line to becoming a WWE superstar eventually, and like making it to NXT and eventually the main roster. So, what are your thoughts on the WWE's new ID program through the independent scene?
I think it's excellent because of many of the other independents out there. Um, it's actually a good opportunity for a lot of these other places to catch some of this new talent
Yeah.
because I mean I've seen a lot of the independent circles up out this way, going up towards Massachusetts, right here in Connecticut. Um, you're seeing a lot of these up and coming federations. So it's like, hey, you got to give them an opportunity to make it to the big time. And I honestly believe that if if Paul Levesque is you know reaching out to get this new talent because somebody might have missed, you never know. I honestly believe that this is a new step and it's kind of like the best way to go.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I don't see a problem with it because bottom line is that if the WWE needs a pipeline of talent in order to stay functional. The machine needs sausage, so to speak, for lack of a better reference, and this is a way to continuously feed good wrestlers into the WWE system. And I also believe that because WWE system, I wouldn't say it's the best or anything like that, but because WWE system is unique, the earlier into your
How's the
career.
game coming?
Oh, it's
Who's
they just
winning?
scored a touchdown. They're up 17-13. Uh
Mhm.
I'll say but uh but yeah, that the earlier that a wrestler can get into the actual WWE style and WWE system, I think the better off we'll be with what we see from these wrestlers when they get to the main roster as far as in-ring work and promo work, etc. They'll be a lot more skilled because not only will they have trained in WWE style pretty much their whole career, but they will have worked with some of the greatest to ever do it in Cody and Booker and Paul Levesque and Shawn Michaels. They will have worked with some of the best to ever do it if they follow through the entire pipeline of one of their schools into one of their shows into NXT into the main roster. Like they will have worked with some of the best to ever do it, and they will have learned from those
Right.
people. So we'll see a lot more talented strokes and a lot more stars being built up by WWE throughout the thing. And imagine, like I said, it's one thing to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only guy who does this, and I'm a sports guy too, so I do this with sports as well. Is that I love being able to see a guy like starting in his sophomore year in college and see him make his junior sophomore year and then get better his junior year and then get come to the NFL and then do well his rookie year and then keep playing. Like I love seeing the thing. And if I could have watched that guy, like if it's one of the guys I went to high school with, like I'm like, wow, dude, I watched you play in high school, then I watched you play in college, then I watched you play in the pros now. Like I love that thing. So being able to say that, maybe I caught a guy at a BTW show, that wrestled for Cody's Nightmare Factory. I caught him at the BTW show, and the next week he's wrestling at the Nightmare Factory. 3 weeks later, I see him in NXT, and a year later, he's on the main roster. It's like, hey, I watched you go. I remember the day I saw Crash Holly uh, debut on WWE. And the reason why that's thing is because I was like, the reason why I knew him is because I looked at him, I went, hey, you're the dude who dated my girlfriend's sister when you used to be an APW wrestler. Like that's literally how I knew him. Like he lived in Hayward. Like I was just, but it was just like this feeling of proudness when I was like, hey, you, like I've actually met you. I know you. And so like I think this WWID program will give a lot of people that opportunity and a lot of wrestlers that opportunity to have their friends say, hey, I know that guy. I went to high school with him. So here's another random wrestling fact for you. Was watching a reel from the Undertaker's podcast, 6 Feet Down with Mark, and he was talking about how with
Your
Omos.
your voice is sounding kind of low, sir.
Oh, sorry. Where he was talking with Omos about the fact that he used to play basketball. Now, a lot of people don't know that. Him and Kevin Nash used to both be basketball players. I believe they both played at the collegiate level as well. But Taker said he was in this summer league pickup game with Charles Barkley, Moses Malone, and Hakeem Olajuwon. All right, and he named a couple of other guys that were NBA players, right? But they weren't NBA players at the time, right? And he says he gets in, he's only in for a couple of minutes. He says he gets in and he gets this fast break where they get him the ball and flipping he sees up court. Hakeem's running the lane with his guy. And Mark says he throws it up. And Hakeem, he's like he thinks he's completely blown the alley oop. And Hakeem grabs it out of midair, slams it down. Comes back and looks at him like that you got you, kid. Little did they know at that time that young man who threw that pass will go on to become the Undertaker, the Teddy Long's best friend. And the man who caught that pass will go on to become one of the greatest centers to ever play in NBA history, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Like, like that's something like I would want to see. It's something like, did somebody have pictures of that? Because if they did, that's like worth money.
Well, no, no, just trip out on, like we saw like Kevin James, actor Kevin James and Mick Foley
Yeah.
were in high school together. And I was like, damn, and I thought the picture was fake, but it
Yeah.
was actually,
Really?
it was actually on some legit shit. Like,
Wow.
damn, things happen in these
Hmm.
kinds of circles. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
One hundred
I'm
percent.
just like, wow.
Yeah, it blows my
Yeah.
mind, man, every time. Every time.
What
Uh,
what you
U-
about to say, Jay?
US, USC, UCLA,
Mm.
when uh, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was Lou Alcindor.
Uh,
Uh,
Lou Alcindor. Yeah, Lou Alcindor.
Lou Alcindor, playing for UCLA. The opposing center for USC, all that they knew is that this kid was freakishly tall and had hands, massive hands. So they got a guy to for scrimmages, for practices against in prep against UCLA. USC basketball team got a volleyball center holding up tennis rackets to pretend to be Kareem.
yeah, yeah.
And that
Dang.
guy and that volleyball center with the tennis rackets was Tom Selleck.
No way.
Yep.
I can
Oh my
believe it.
god. Oh my
I
god.
can believe it.
All right, all right.
Yep.
So on that note, we'll
So
close the pop culture corner. And
actually, I
what's
do
that?
have one. I do have one wrestling pop culture crossover
What's that?
bit. More likely a missed opportunity. Okay, so Netflix's Avatar: Last Airbender season 2 cast has been announced,
Okay.
and because we're getting into the Earth Kingdom now, we've got we already have Toph, but we're going to have like Judy,
Yeah.
Lady Beifong, um, but
Oh,
more
really? They're going
importantly,
into the core characters then.
yes,
Wow.
and we have the Boulder cast,
Yes. Is he playing?
but
But is he being played by Dwayne? Probably not, huh?
no, 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 no. The Boulder will be played by Kelemete Misapeka.
Okay.
And I apologize if I'm butchering that name, from Sons of Thunder. And this is a huge missed opportunity
Yeah.
because if you haven't watched Avatar, the Boulder was basically a parody of The Rock,
Yep. And it was voiced
voiced
by Mick Foley.
by Mick Foley. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, given the absolutely incredible diversity that the live action Avatar series has got, I'm not expecting them to cast Mick Foley, a white guy, as as Pacific Asian, to continue that, even though he was pitch perfect.
Yeah.
But you know what? Missed opportunity. Rock's got an entire family
Hmm.
of pro wrestlers that would love to,
Go out and act like him.
yeah, and do that. I mean, Roman Reigns,
Yeah.
one of the Usos, Jacob Fatu. I mean, think of them, clowning on The Rock,
Uh,
being The Rock for that.
you know
I
what's
think it's a
funny
missed
though?
opportunity.
Is that entire family is big and scary, and The
Yeah,
Rock's bigger than all of them.
yeah,
Like legitly, like The Rock's the tallest out of all of them. Like he's bigger than Roman, he's bigger than the Usos, he's bigger than Jacob, he's bigger than Solo, he's big. Like I think the only one he's not bigger than is Zilla. Like because I think
That's
Zilla's
why
like
he's the
16.
final boss, man.
So, but yeah, but that's just hilarious to me.
yeah.
All right,
But
so
huge missed opportunity for cross promotion, which you know Vince loves to do.
All right, all right. I can give you one more where Marvel dropped the ball, and I will agree with this. I saw a reel today that I loved because it said Marvel definitely missed an opportunity, and it showed the last scene of Avengers Endgame,
Mhm.
and it shows a drummer, and he's drumming, and it goes in, and he goes, "I am inevitable," and he snaps, right, and of course he starts in with the drum beat from Iron Man, right,
Mhm.
and of course they build it up. And instead of it just saying I am Iron Man, it actually goes into the full song for the rest of the scene. And I'm like, yes, that's what they should have done in the movie. That would have made that shit epic. As all those things were coming down, instead of having that silence, as all those things were turning into dust and falling down, just having Iron Man playing through that entire thing would have made it just no
Yeah.
over the top, epic. Would have blew the
Yeah.
roof off. Sorry, missed opportunity by Marvel.
Yeah. And apparently, one last late minute pop culture bit, because I
Okay.
know last time I was with you guys, we were talking about um, public domain characters
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
So Popeye is in the public domain,
Really.
and
My mind.
he's gonna get, yep, and there he is going to be. This is coming off the Mirror US. There's going to be a Popeye live action movie. Popeye to be transformed into serial killer in raunchy and gory slasher.
You
I'm
know
telling
what,
you that
man?
Winnie the
See, this
Pooh
is the
blood and honey
bullshit,
shit just
man.
that shit just fucked everything up.
You know,
Now everything
you
got to
know,
be horror.
yeah, nah,
Yep,
nah, man, fuck all that because you know what though, the steamboat, they got the steamboat Willie,
Willie
trying
Crew.
to
Yeah,
do some, some serial killer shit. Then you got Winnie the Pooh like blood and honey with a big ass knife. Now you want to turn around and make Popeye
They're
into a
gonna do it to
serial
them all,
killer,
man,
man?
one
Get the
by
fuck
one. As
out
soon
of
as they
here,
all
man.
become the public domain, we're gonna have a Muppet Babies horror movie. The Muppet Babies are gonna be a bunch of
oh,
little gremlins running around slicing people's Achilles. Watch and then stabbing them in the back of the head. Kermit gonna be like, "Yeah, we got this fucker now."
Well,
I'm
we'll
telling you,
see.
man.
Well, we'll see what happens because you got to think about it. Superman, it's already been done, but if you ever seen that movie called Brightburn,
Brightburn. Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
geez,
you
beautiful.
know, like so
All I
you
know is
can't
we're
get
getting
past
another
that.
season of Supercell. That's all I care about. Supercell was badass. So, all right. All right. So let's take us into our final segment of the night. Your favorite segment. Be sure to join us in the next 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
right, C. Jonte,
yep.
Muppet Babies.
Yes, yes,
That's
Muppet
some
Babies.
fuckery though.
That is Tom fuckery,
Okay.
Tom Cruise fuckery. That's what I call it. Like, understand, like, I really appreciated Tom Cruise as an actor until the Scientology shit came out. Then everything was about Tom Cruise fuckery. Then we had the whole Oprah
Yeah.
situation where he had the mental breakdown on national television, and I love
Oh,
her, and
jumping
I
on the
love her.
couch.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he comes back with a really good movie for a sequel for Top Gun. I don't know how these things happen, but they do. Okay, they've all happened in my lifetime. I've seen Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, but both of them in my lifetime.
Woo!
And I'm not saying y'all haven't seen more. I'm saying y'all the fuckery y'all must have seen on top of the fuckery that I've already seen. It's like must be bullshittery to its finest. Anyway, what go on saying?
Yeah.
No, okay. Let's get on. All right. Not so much as video game reviews today, but more or less video game updates. First thing is of course the final
Countdown.
DLC for WWE 2K24 is the WCW pack, which includes Diamond Dallas Page,
Yeah.
the Great Muta,
Muta,
It's me.
muta.
It's
the one
me.
and only yeah,
Bang.
it's me. It's DDP. Lex Luthor, Diamond Dallas Page, Great Muta. Who else was it?
Ding.
can't remember who was it.
Is it Sting?
Is Sting
'Cause
in there?
no, 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 hell no. Can't remember right off, but I already know that was the big pack. But my biggest takeaway is the game Undisputed. Now, I'm a little pissed off about the Tyson fight and all that, whatever. But Undisputed did a very huge update. They fixed a lot of shit. They fixed a lot of shit with the clashing and all of the other shenanigans that was going on. But expecting to get full results with this game. There's some new I think there's some new stuff with the Sims, if I'm not mistaken. I
Nice.
mean, it's a lot of more updates and stuff like now, right now, because we're getting to go into the holiday season where all the video games and all of the prices are going to be, cut in half or what have you. And then, of course, January, it's going to pick right back up again. So
Where they charging
that
us
was pretty
way
much
too
my,
fucking
oh,
much.
wait a minute. Wait. Hold on, hold on. There are two. There's because I love the side scroller in the adventure games. Um, the GI Joe game,
Yeah.
side scrolling game, that's coming out in the next couple of weeks, and then you have the Power Rangers side scrolling game, and not so much of it's just being a side scroller, but it's side scroller, fast forward, and lots of pixel action. So I'm looking forward to that, and because I already had the Karate Kid um, side scroller, and that's really good.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to see a lot more of these beat 'em ups
Yeah.
these days.
Mhm.
So yeah, great franchises.
Oh, and just so you video gamers will know, and I'm not trying to put false information out there. This is ifs, maybes. Take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. But there have been people that have said that there's a possibility that the new tariffs that are coming are possibly going to drive the price of a PS5 Pro up to over $1,000.
$1,000. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
So get your PS5 Pro this Christmas.
yeah. While you can, when you see the deal this Christmas, because the price on those fuckers are going to go up. I'll be honest though. Here's what's funny: is I say that, but at the same time, my memory remembers me that I paid over 1,000 for the Xbox 360, but I bought the Xbox 360, an extra controller, and I think it was 3 games, and I paid
Dude,
over 1,000 because I think the
where the
con
hell is
I think the console it was this is when the 360 first came out. Like I'm talking about like the first 14 days or so when it was like
Yeah.
650,
Okay.
750. Like they were charging ridiculous amounts. For this one, I didn't wait till it came down because I came into like 10 grand and I was stupid. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go buy it. And
Yeah.
I also bought a backpack to travel with it in. Like I got all of
Okay.
that all at the same time. So you figure it was probably more
Right.
around. I paid like 500-600 for it. Like is what I
Yeah.
paid for the actual system, and then everything else was all the accessories.
Right. But still, even with the change in dollar value, that, eh, you know, we'll see what happens
I wasn't
with
planning on
the,
getting a pro ever anyway.
yeah,
So like,
yeah,
for me, it doesn't.
yeah.
But the
I still need
PS5,
to get my,
yeah.
I still need to get my PS5 working. So that's the plan for me. But so my little video game bit is apparently, um, despite the success of Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2,
Mhm.
Focus Entertainment and Saber Interactive, they're not sure if they're going to continue with the Space Marine franchise
Wow.
because, as people have pointed out, people are just starting to notice that, hey, you know, the Imperium's kind of fascist. We need to tone that down some.
Uh,
And here's the problem is 40K has always been a satire
yeah,
of science fiction fascism, military fascism.
yeah. Like, don't take it too seriously, folks.
Right.
It's a
Yeah, I
video
got
And the
game.
like
problem
three
is,
war. Man, I got like three Warhammer 40K games, man. Like
yeah,
everybody
and
knows that's kind of
yeah,
like fucking
yeah, but
what's the name of that fucking game? The one Hell Divers too.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they're making fun. They're making fun
right.
of what you call it. Fucking what's the name of that
Capitalism,
movie?
uh,
Well, they're
Starship
making fun
Troopers.
of capitalism and the super Earth shit, but
Yeah,
it's kind of
Starship
like
Troopers.
making fun of that movie. What's the name of the movie?
Starship
Goddamn.
Troopers.
Yeah, Starship
Yeah.
Troopers.
Yeah,
Like,
Which itself was a parody of
right,
yeah,
things.
exactly.
Like, yeah.
But this is where we are as a civilization. We don't understand satire and parody
Right.
anymore.
Like,
We
because like I was just explaining, sorry, I was just explaining to my daughter the other day. Well, not my daughter. I think I was talking to Suave on the phone, but I was explaining him, and I brought up Starship Troopers because I was talking about look at how, not to say and don't in any way think I come from a military family. I believe that people who fought in the military should think of themselves as above citizens to an extent.
right,
Okay, but there's a reason why they present it to you in that way when you are in the military. And if you watch a movie like Starship Troopers, it kind of shines a light on that. Because if you watch that whole video about joining the intergalactic military, what's they're telling? Well, do you want to become a citizen? Yeah. You don't want to live down there in the slums. You want to be able to become a citizen so you can go to cities like this. Come join us. Like it's very parody of what the U.S. military is doing to try to recruit new people
right.
right now. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
and so it very much even shows that even back then there was an acknowledgement of how that goes. So
And
go on.
and the other thing is people just are getting way too much into their happy fun times.
Yeah,
They're taking it way too
yeah,
seriously
one hundred
in
percent.
there. It's really, I mean, what the hell, guys?
Yeah,
It's just
let it. Yeah,
just relax. Just let it be. Consume it or don't consume it,
yeah.
and
Hey,
just
not to sound
let
like an old
people
man, but
create.
just chill out, bro.
Exactly.
Chill out. Take a chill
Exactly.
pill.
Yeah.
Stay away from the
Um.
red pill.
smoke some weed. It might help.
It might help.
Yeah.
It might.
It might. Yeah. Just
Tweet.
might. Yeah.
You know,
So.
Great Bone Thug said Buddha makes it feel better. So okay, I agree. I agree. But
Okay.
all right. So last thing I'll talk about is this. I have to admit, my online dynasty with Suave has not gone the way I thought it was going to.
Uh-oh.
We made some adjustments, and I won my first national title. Unfortunately, Suave didn't make it to the national title game that year, so I beat the computer to win my national title. And
But you
Suave
wanted to
has.
be suave. You know
Well,
you
no, I
wanted to
did.
be
I did. I'm not
suave.
saying I didn't. I'm not saying I didn't, but I'm glad I got mine because it,
Yeah.
it don't
Well, no,
it,
no,
it don't it
no.
looked like I might not get another one ever
But
again.
beating, but
So
but
like,
beating suave. But I'm gonna tell you, because listen, for the folks out there in our history over all these years, Suave has always been the premier sports dude. Okay, he will bury
not
you.
all sports games,
What?
but yeah, but
Not.
football, yeah,
Yeah, but no, yeah, no. On the football, that's
yeah,
what I'm
on the
talking
football,
about.
yeah, for sure.
When it comes to football, Suave, it's like I won't even fuck with him. On no, I
Okay,
won't even like.
here.
Yeah,
Hold on. I can
but
tell. I can tell the story. All right, look,
well,
look.
no, not
A
even
few
the
years
story. I'm
back,
just gonna say,
they would. This is before I moved in with my boy Suave, out in San Leandro. I come over. They had just gotten a Dreamcast, right? We all playing in NFL 2K. This is the first one, not 2K5. 2K5 was beautiful, but this was the very first one, right? So I come in, right? Everybody's rotating around the controllers. When you lose, you get off the controller. Evidently, Steve been on the controller all night, right? Can't nobody seem to beat him. Not only can't nobody seem to beat him, but didn't nobody score off him that night. So I go into my game. I'm like, all right, I got my little game plan. I'm San Francisco. I know what I'm gonna do. He picked the Raiders. We go. I think it was the we punt, and in the second drive, I drive down. I get a long play to the tight end. Run it, touchdown. Room goes wild. All right, cool. Why are we going so wild? Because ain't nobody scored on Steve for that night. Ain't nobody scored on him at all. So, just to sum up a long
Facts.
story, the final
Facts.
score of that game was 113 to 10. But I'm proud of that touchdown.
You know what? Ain't that about it, bitch?
I'm not gonna sit here and say I beat him because I didn't, but I did score the only
Yeah, but
touchdown
you
of the night,
scored
so it was something to
because
be it
because
was something to be
listen,
proud
listen, and I specifically remember that night because before you had got there, we had at least, I think, Duel was getting knocked out. I think he made a score, but I got 21 blank. So I said, man, fuck it, because I said, to hell with it.
of.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could pick any team, bro. I'm just saying, bro. And I'm gonna pick the Raiders. But it was like as soon as Kevin came through, he comes in with his woo woo woo, and he's the only one that scored. But and yeah, it was 100 and something with that. But
He stoned me, but it was
we
all
we
good.
kicked it. We
Oh
kicked it
yeah.
hard. It was
Oh
a
yeah.
celebration, bitches. You know what I mean?
So that was just one of those funny moments that happened with, especially playing old school football, basketball, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, but no, but getting back to the
Cheers.
so basically the reason why I say that is because Suave then proceeds to win two consecutive national titles off the computer because for some odd reason the computer just didn't like me getting to the title game. And no, in one year he beat me in the second round of the playoff. But the last 2 years I've met him in the national title game, and the game's basically been over by halftime. And so like my team's getting better though. My team's getting better, so I'm hoping. Like, couple of this most recent recruiting class off season had the number one recruiting class of all of it. And here's what's funny. Here's something for all you NCAA players that's quite funny. If you if you are up there and you are like number one or number two of the friggin' recruiting classes, and you don't want to drop down, don't go out and rattle off the rest of your scholarships to like 3 star, 3 and 2 star players. Because then when you do that, it brings your ranking down. I didn't know that until 2 seasons ago when I had the number one, thought I had the number one. Then I went out and signed like 8 3 star players, and I ended up dropping to number three. Even though I still had a good draft class, all those 3 star players just dropped me down. So yeah. So this last year, I had like three star players, and I was like, nah, I cut all three of them loose. Kept focusing on the one 5 star player, got him, and ended up staying at the number one draft class. So I'm coming for you, Swab. I'm coming for you, bro. Don't worry about it. I'm coming for back for my second national title.
Yeah, go ahead and do what you have to do, man.
Shoot.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna close out as always with your favorite segment, and I know it's mine. Even though they hate the intro that I have for it, but we won't have only this one for long. I'm coming up with one. Don't worry. It's where are you going to be next? Right here on the Cheap Pop Podcast. So
And the
say, kick us off.
what you call it just dropped like 2 octaves. Anyway.
Uh-uh.
All right, I'm just fucking with you. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as you know, tonight and finally, this will be the final late night episode of NDT Deuce, as I will be starting back to back to the 9 to 5 or what have you. But it's a good thing though, because we were going to be doing Tuesdays and Thursdays anyway, especially with the ear to the street. We're going to be getting that started probably after the holidays and so forth, and getting that done. But NDT Deuce tonight, we're going to do another music episode, the usual, and then we'll be starting now versus then starting next Thursday.
All
Or
right.
no, actually, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. The Thursday after Thanksgiving.
All right.
So yeah, that's gonna be it.
All right. And Runescryer, where can we find you next, sir?
I will be back on board tonight for the night shift at midnight Pacific time. And I will be dipping back into the aforementioned Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2, getting myself back into that game. I'm slowly trying to build back up.
All right. And as for me, unfortunately, we will not be doing an episode of the classroom this evening. O'Malley is on the road and won't be home in enough time. So there will be no classroom, but there will be
Okay.
me back again tomorrow night with football Mondays, with a little bit of college football 25 and Madden 25. That's where you can find me next. And be sure to check out
Okay, so we're gonna
KD5P on
drop.
Saturday, Live 365. What's up?
No, I was gonna say yeah, cause yeah, we missed you. Like last night, that was weird
Yeah.
for you not to be on KD5P. That was really,
For the first
really,
time
really
in
fucking
damn
strange.
near over a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed an episode.
But we're going to probably drop MBT Deuce a little earlier, so we can do something extraordinarily different. So yeah, we'll probably drop it down like 10:30.
Okay. There you go.
10:30. All right.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. All right, y'all. So that will be it for us for this week. I hope you have enjoyed yourself. If anything, I hope that this show gave you a break from all the craziness and monotony and anxiety that was the election a couple of weeks ago, and helps you smile, because that's what we
Yeah.
all need to do right now. All right. So we will see y'all next week, 2:15. Be sure to join us right here on Twitch TV. You can catch the recast, or not recast, but the replay of this audio on Live 365 on, I believe it is Thursdays. Let me see. Let me check my schedule over here. Yeah. You can catch it on, on Thursdays at 3:20 p.m. You'll be able to catch it in place of the Worldwide Wrestling podcast that currently airs there. So this is Dark Lord 100, double KK double. Next to me is Runescryer. Below me is the Saint. And we say peace.